Let's get real. We've all had that one person who seemed fine at first, funny, charming, or just a little quirky. You might have even enjoyed their company. But over time, something felt off. They didn't show their true colors right away, but slowly you began to notice how you always felt drained after talking to them. How you started second-guessing yourself, even around small decisions. And the worst part? It felt like you were always walking on eggshells, trying to avoid conflict, never knowing when the next issue would pop up. Toxic people are like the poison you don't see coming. They don't arrive with neon warning signs. Instead, they slip in quietly, often under the radar, and take root in your life. At first, you brush off their odd behavior. Maybe they were just having a bad day, or you misunderstood something they said. But over time, their impact starts to show. They undermine your self-worth, manipulate situations to suit their needs, and leave you emotionally drained. It's a slow burn, but eventually it's clear something's not right. You start realizing that their presence in your life is causing more harm than good. And that's when it hits you. This isn't just a bad relationship, it's toxic. The good news? You don't have to stay stuck in these toxic relationships. Recognizing their behavior is the first step to reclaiming your power. In this guide, we'll show you how to spot toxic people, protect your emotional well-being, and take control of your life. The power to break free is in your hands. It all starts with understanding, and we're here to help you do just that. As author and motivational speaker Les Brown says, you don't have to remain friends with toxic people. You have to love them from a distance. Toxic people aren't always easy to spot. They don't walk around with a neon sign saying, "I'm here to drain your energy." In fact, they often seem perfectly normal at first. They might be charming, funny, or even someone who seems to care about you. But over time, something starts to feel off. That's the hidden danger of toxic people. They wear a mask of normalcy while subtly undermining your emotional and mental well-being. At their core, toxic people are self-centered. They crave attention and validation, often expecting others to cater to their emotional needs. Everything revolves around them, and anyone who doesn't fit into their narrative gets pushed aside. This need for constant validation drives their manipulative behaviors, often disguised as care or concern. It's not always obvious at first, but slowly you begin to notice how they control situations or make everything about their feelings. One of the most insidious aspects of toxic people is how they manipulate others without you realizing it. At first, their actions might seem small or harmless. Maybe they brush off your feelings or dismiss your concerns. But over time, these small manipulations build up, and you start questioning yourself. They gaslight you, convincing you that you're overreacting or remembering things wrong. You find yourself second-guessing your own reality, wondering if it's really them or if you're just being too sensitive. Toxic people have a way of making everything about them. They monopolize conversations, constantly steering the discussion back to their issues, no matter the topic. Whether you're talking about something exciting in your life or sharing a concern, they'll find a way to redirect everything to themselves. It's emotionally draining because it feels like your voice is never heard. Their problems always take precedence. Instead of addressing issues directly, they'll use passive-aggressive behaviors to express dissatisfaction. They might give you the silent treatment, make snarky comments, or act distant. This indirect communication leaves you on edge, unsure of where you stand. The ambiguity of it all makes it difficult to address the problem head-on, and it wears you down mentally. What makes toxic people so dangerous is that they don't always show their true nature right away. Initially, they might seem like just another person in your life, someone with flaws, sure, but nothing you can't handle. You brush off their little quirks or behaviors, thinking it's just part of who they are. But over time, the small cracks in their personality start to widen, and you begin to feel the emotional toll of being around them. These behaviors don't just hurt in the moment, they have a cumulative effect. They erode your self-esteem, make you question your decisions, and leave you feeling mentally and emotionally drained. The constant emotional drain starts to affect other areas of your life, your relationships, your work, and your overall happiness. That's why it's so important to recognize these signs early on. The sooner you spot a toxic person for what they are, the sooner you can start protecting your energy. Once you identify the manipulation and emotional drain, you can take steps to reclaim your peace and distance yourself from their influence. As psychologist Dr. Tim Clinton says, toxic relationships can leave us feeling empty, drained, and unfulfilled. Toxic people don't just affect your daily life, they slowly wear away at your emotional and mental well-being, often in ways you might not notice at first. The damage isn't always obvious, but over time it piles up, leading to exhaustion, confusion, and stress. You might not even realize it's happening until you're already drained. One of the first effects of being around toxic people is emotional exhaustion. These people are emotional vampires. They drain your energy without you even noticing it. At first, it seems like little things, but over time, it becomes constant. You may start the day feeling great, but after talking to them, you feel completely drained, like you've run out of energy. The more they demand, the less you have left for yourself. Toxic people often use gaslighting, which is a sneaky way of making you question your own reality. They might tell you you're overreacting or imagining things when you share your concerns. Over time, you begin to doubt yourself. You wonder, am I the one being unreasonable? This constant self-doubt wears you down and makes it harder to trust your own judgment. The effects of dealing with toxic people don't just end with exhaustion or confusion. The long-term mental health impact can be significant. Being exposed to constant negativity increases stress and can lead to problems like anxiety, depression, or even panic attacks. You feel stuck in a cycle, and the weight of it all becomes harder to carry. The more time you spend with toxic people, the more likely it is that stress will take a toll on you. It starts small, but over time, you might feel more anxious, irritable, or tired. Your mind and body are constantly on edge, and it's difficult to shake it off. Stress produces cortisol, the stress hormone, and when that's consistently high, it leads to more serious issues like depression and anxiety. If you've been around toxic people for a long time, you might find yourself feeling hopeless or constantly drained, with no idea how to fix it. If you start feeling drained, confused, or increasingly anxious, it might be time to reassess the relationships in your life. Recognizing the signs early can help you protect your emotional and mental well-being. You don't have to keep giving to toxic people if it's hurting you. Dr. Ramani Durvasula, a clinical psychologist, says, toxic relationships can damage your self-esteem, your mental health, and your entire outlook on life. This just shows how deeply toxic people can impact your mental health, even if it doesn't seem obvious at first. Toxic people manipulate and control those around them in subtle, insidious ways. Their tactics can be so smooth that, at first, you might not even realize what's happening. One of the most common methods they use is gaslighting, a psychological manipulation where the toxic person makes you question your own reality. They might deny things they've said or done, making you doubt your memory or judgment. They might tell you that you're overreacting or imagining things, even when you know something's not right. Gaslighting chips away at your confidence, leaving you second-guessing everything. Another method toxic people use is shifting blame. Instead of taking responsibility for their actions, they manipulate the situation to make you feel guilty or responsible for things out of your control. If something goes wrong, they twist the narrative to make it seem like it's your fault, even if you had no part in the situation. This makes it harder for you to trust your own feelings and decisions. You begin to feel like you're always at fault, even when you're not. Toxic people also create a sense of dependency. They thrive on being the center of attention and often want you to rely on them for validation or approval. They might give you just enough attention or affection to keep you hooked, but withhold it when you need it most. This emotional manipulation keeps you coming back for more, desperately seeking their approval and reassurance. Over time, you become emotionally reliant on them, believing you can't function or feel good about yourself without their input. These manipulative tactics are designed to maintain control over you. They weaken your self-worth, making you feel small and dependent on them for your emotional well-being. The worst part is, because these tactics are often subtle, it's easy to miss the signs at first. It starts with small manipulations, and before you know it, they've made you question your reality, decisions, and value. You might even start feeling like you can't trust yourself anymore. The truth is, toxic people thrive on control. They need to make others feel powerless to maintain their position. Recognizing these manipulative behaviors is the first step in regaining your power. The more you understand how they operate, the easier it becomes to break free from their influence. As Dr. George Simon, author of In Sheep's Clothing, says, manipulative people prey on your weaknesses and insecurities to control you. Toxic people don't just harm their victims. They create deep rifts within their broader social circle. Whether it's family, friends, or romantic partners, their behavior wreaks havoc on relationships. One of the most harmful things they do is manipulate others around you. They often play the victim, twisting situations to make you look like the problem. They manipulate those around you, causing misunderstandings that turn friends and family against you. Toxic people thrive on creating division between you and the people you care about. They may sow seeds of doubt, suggesting your friends or family don't have your best interests at heart, or even planting lies that make you question their loyalty. Over time, this builds a wall between you and the ones who were once your support system. In addition to isolating you, toxic people thrive on drama and conflict. They escalate arguments, turning minor issues into full-blown crises. They enjoy stirring the pot, creating situations where misunderstandings and conflicts seem inevitable. This constant conflict and emotional manipulation leaves you drained and confused. The longer you stay in these relationships, the more damage it does to your emotional well-being. Toxic people impact not only their direct relationship with you, but also create ripple effects that hurt everyone in their path. Their ability to manipulate and control extends beyond just the victim. Friends, family, and even colleagues can feel the emotional fallout from the drama they create. The key to breaking this cycle is recognizing the signs early and protecting your personal boundaries before their influence spreads further. As Dr. John Gottman, a relationship expert, says, toxic people contaminate healthy relationships with their negative outlook, their controlling behavior, and their self-centeredness. When dealing with toxic people, setting boundaries is crucial for protecting your mental health and emotional well-being. Boundaries act like a shield, preserving your energy and preventing toxic behavior from seeping into your life. Without boundaries, toxic individuals can invade your space, manipulate your emotions, and drain you dry. There are several types of boundaries to consider when dealing with toxic people. Emotional boundaries protect your feelings and emotional state. For example, you might say, I don't appreciate being yelled at, or I need space when I'm upset. Establishing emotional boundaries ensures you don't absorb or internalize their negativity. Physical boundaries relate to your personal space and physical well-being. It might mean standing firm when someone invades your personal space, or saying no to uncomfortable invitations. Communication boundaries define how and when you communicate with others. For example, you might avoid conversations that always end in conflict, or stop responding to manipulative messages. One of the most empowering things you can do is learn to say no. Saying no to toxic behavior doesn't make you a bad person. It's a way to protect your peace. When you set boundaries, you tell the world that your emotional and mental well-being matters. It's okay to say no when someone demands your time or emotional energy in unhealthy ways. Saying no is not selfish, it's self-care. The key to setting boundaries is communicating them assertively without confrontation. Here are a few tips. Be clear and direct. Don't sugarcoat your message. If someone is overstepping, tell them exactly what's bothering you. For example, I don't like when you make negative comments about my choices. Please stop. Stay calm and firm. Keep your tone calm and your body language confident. The goal is to stand your ground, not argue. Don't apologize for your boundaries. Boundaries are about protecting yourself, and you don't need to apologize for that. You might feel uncomfortable at first, but remember, this is about your well-being. By learning how to set and communicate boundaries, you begin to reclaim control over your life. It's about putting your needs first and cutting out toxic influences that have drained you. Boundaries help you preserve your energy and show toxic people that you value yourself enough to say no when needed. When dealing with toxic people, maintaining your mental well-being and emotional peace requires consistent effort and self-care. Toxic individuals can drain your energy and negatively impact your emotional state, but practicing self-care can help you recharge and protect your inner calm. It's about creating a shield around yourself to preserve your mental and emotional health. Meditation, one of the most powerful self-care practices, is meditation. Taking just a few minutes each day to focus on your breath and clear your mind can reduce stress and help restore emotional balance. Meditation allows you to reset, creating mental space to respond calmly and rationally to challenging situations, rather than letting toxic behavior affect your peace. Journaling is another valuable tool for processing your emotions. Writing down your thoughts and feelings provides an outlet for self-reflection and helps you release pent-up frustration. It allows you to see your emotions from a different perspective, gain clarity, and track your progress in healing from toxic relationships. A journal can be a safe space where you can vent without judgment. Therapy is incredibly beneficial, especially when dealing with toxic relationships. A therapist can help you build healthier coping mechanisms and guide you in setting boundaries with toxic people. Therapy also provides an objective, supportive environment where you can work through the emotional wounds caused by toxic behavior. It gives you the tools to heal and develop stronger emotional resilience. Physical health. Taking care of your physical health is just as important as tending to your emotional well-being. Regular exercise, a healthy diet, and adequate sleep are essential for maintaining a balanced mind and body. Physical activity releases endorphins that can counteract the effects of stress, while proper nutrition and rest ensure that your body has the energy and strength to support your emotional healing. Creating emotional distance. Another critical aspect of self-care is creating emotional distance from toxic relationships. This doesn't always mean cutting people off completely, but it's essential to protect your emotions from toxic behavior. Setting mental boundaries helps you separate yourself from the negativity of others, allowing you to remain grounded and unaffected by their harmful actions. Support system. Building a strong support system is key to protecting your peace. Surround yourself with people who uplift and encourage you, friends, family, or even therapy groups who understand your struggles. Having a network of supportive individuals provides a safe space where you can recharge and share your feelings without fear of judgment. Proactive steps. By practicing these self-care strategies and surrounding yourself with a supportive network, you can protect your peace and prioritize your emotional health. Remember, self-care is not selfish. It's essential for your well-being. Think of it like charging your phone. Just as your phone needs a full battery to function properly, you need to recharge your emotional and mental energy to handle toxic influences effectively. Prioritize self-care, and you'll regain the strength to handle challenges and protect your peace. The journey to recovery and empowerment begins the moment you decide to take back control of your life. It's about reclaiming your peace, rebuilding your self-worth, and stepping into the strength you didn't know you had. Toxic people often leave lasting scars on your self-esteem. Over time, their behavior can make you question your worth and abilities. But it's important to remember that their toxicity doesn't define you. Rebuilding your self-confidence starts with recognizing your value and treating yourself with the love and respect you deserve. Practice self-compassion, celebrate small wins, and challenge negative self-talk. The more you nurture your inner strength, the more you'll realize your resilience. Letting go of the control toxic people had over you is crucial in your healing process. Forgiving them doesn't mean excusing their behavior. It's about freeing yourself from the emotional burden they imposed on you. This is also a time to forgive yourself. Acknowledge that you did the best you could with what you knew at the time. Letting go of guilt or shame is essential for moving forward. It's about releasing the past to make space for your future. Overcoming toxic relationships is not just about surviving, it's about thriving. As you heal and reclaim your power, you begin to live a life of purpose, free from manipulation and negativity. You'll rediscover your passions, embrace healthy relationships, and create boundaries that protect your well-being. The road to recovery is a process, but each step forward brings you closer to a peaceful, empowered life. You are stronger, wiser, and more capable than ever. Your past doesn't define you, your future is yours to create. Think of your journey to recovery like climbing a mountain. Each step might be challenging, but every step brings you closer to the summit, where you can see the vast possibilities of your future. The journey to reclaim your peace and well-being starts now. Recognizing toxic people, setting boundaries, and practicing self-care are essential steps in protecting your mental health and taking back control of your life. To recap, identifying toxic individuals in your life is the first crucial step. Once you recognize patterns of manipulation, control, and negativity, you can begin to set healthy boundaries that protect your emotional and mental space. Establishing boundaries isn't about shutting others out, it's about ensuring you prioritize your well-being without feeling guilty. Boundaries allow you to protect your energy and create the space you need to thrive. Alongside boundaries, self-care becomes your shield, whether through meditation, journaling, or surrounding yourself with supportive people. These practices help you recharge and stay strong in the face of adversity. Now is the time to take action. Start setting those boundaries today. Speak up when necessary, say no without guilt, and choose to protect your energy. The more you practice these steps, the closer you get to the life you deserve, one full of growth, respect, and inner peace. You have the power to break free from toxic influence, and every small step you take brings you closer to the life you deserve, one filled with empowerment and self-respect. Remember, your worth is not determined by others' toxic behaviors. You are strong, resilient, and capable of living a life that reflects your true value. The power to change is in your hands. Take it and step into the empowered, peaceful life you are meant to live. Your future is waiting, and it's filled with endless possibilities. The choice to thrive is yours. As you move forward, remember to check in with yourself regularly. Reflect on your progress, acknowledge your victories, and adjust your boundaries as needed to maintain your peace. You are the author of your story. Write it boldly,